Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Metal Chick podcast. I am your hostess with the mostest, Carrie Z. We have on the line Anthony, who plays guitars, and Thomas, who is the vocalist for this really interesting band that I am very sorry I was not familiar with before this week. But I came across them because they're doing an epic show at Da Bar, which you know I'm a big fan of, this Friday, which is October 10th, right? Now I feel
Yep.
like an idiot because I should have the calendar up. So October 10th, you guys should all be at Da Bar to listen to this band, Haunter. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us. I'm excited.
Yeah, I like I said, this was very impromptu. I was looking for, so my birthday is this weekend, and I was like, I should go see some live music because we haven't been out and about, and it's show season is starting to ramp up again. So I was like, well, let's see who's playing. And I was like, oh, Tabara is a really great lineup for this show, which we'll get into in a few minutes. But
Certainly.
first off, why don't you guys introduce yourselves to the listeners and tell them all about your band?
Sure.
Anthony, you go first. Come on.
That I shall. So I'm Anthony Diabolos. I am the guitar player, and I also provide backing and additional lead vocals to Haunter. I joined Haunter about a year and a half ago, give or take, and we've been on an enormous ride together as far as different versions of evolution, musically, personally, professionally, in different directions. The band was probably on some version of a trajectory on when I joined it, but with the collaborative efforts of everybody, we've definitely been able to hone what I think is the most unique version of our journey. And I'm very happy to be a part of it. I'm very happy to be able to contribute to interviews and podcasts like this because I'm very proud of everything that Haunter does, and I'm very proud to be a part of it.
That's amazing. Well, okay, so let's talk about the name. Tell me how the name came to be.
Funny enough, because most people would think we got it from a Pokemon called Haunter. But actually, yeah, it was actually the name. It was I actually named it a song Haunter when I was like 15 or 16 years old, and then probably just shy of 10 years later, I tried to make an album called Haunter.
Okay.
But I always just thought, like, for years, I was like, this would be a really cool, like, band name for the kind of stuff that I like. You know, the very creepy, romantic, Crimson Peak type stuff. So, hey, we ended up using it as a band name, and it's been an awesome ride ever since.
That's awesome. So, okay, so if somebody had never heard of you, like I did, and I did go out to Spotify and listen to you quite extensively, actually. What would you? How would you like describe your sound to somebody who's never, like, you ran into somebody at a bar and they're like, "Hey," and you're like, hey, "I'm in a band," and they're like, "Oh, what kind of music do you play?"
I like to always tell people it's kind of fun because I like to say if the Backstreet Boys liked horror movies and metal.
Like Scooby Doo metal, right?
I have an equally ridiculous answer, and that
Okay.
is I don't know.
Like,
No,
just listen.
I like to think that Haunter's got a little bit of something for everybody, and I've always said that, and I'll continue to say that. I think Haunter is a really cool melting pot of different genres and sounds, and it's not a melting pot of genres in a way where we're going to play like a doo-wop song during one track and then blast beats on the next one. Even though we could successfully do that, but we kind of take those blended influences and we put them together in a cohesive way. I mean, we have everything from if you like 80s and 90s, classic rock or grunge sounds, we have that stuff. If you like Warped Tour kind of like emo metal bands, we've got that. If you like mosh pity metalcore stuff, we've got that. If you like arena rock, if you like Ghost and Avenged Sevenfold and Motley Crue, we've got that. We've got a little bit of something for everybody, and I think that lets us kind of blend into the music scene in a way where it doesn't really matter who we get booked with, we're going to match. And for that reason, I think we contrast the music scene as much as we complement it.
Nice. That's awesome. That's a good way to put it. So, okay. What do you think sets you apart from other metal bands like in the Midwest? Because the Midwest is I feel like we have a really robust metal scene. People might disagree with me. I don't even care. I feel like there's a lot of bands out there. There's a lot of undiscovered bands. There's a lot of bands I don't care for. There's a lot of bands I love. You know, that's music, right? But whether you like a band or you don't like a band particularly, we have a lot of metal in the Midwest. We really are quite rife with it. And so, what do you think sets Haunter aside from some of the other acts that play in the Midwest, much less in, say, southeastern Wisconsin or Wisconsin in general?
I think it's a quite a mix of things that are all quite natural. Like we don't really try to set ourselves apart. It just kind of naturally happened. Like lyrically, definitely very different. Um, like because I kind of go the King Diamond route. A huge fan of King Diamond. I love concept albums, so we kind of got more a whole pool of stories to draw from. So
Okay.
rather than like your normal lyrics about just like random everyday life stuff or relationships, which a lot of people do those, and we might throw those in a little bit here and there, but ours are very concept based, or like we like to be like, hey, do we like vampires? Yeah, let's make this song about vampires. Hey, do you like Blade? Yeah, let's have this influenced by Blade. So lyrically, we just naturally take what we love out of comics and movies, or make our own stories, and just boom, got a whole pool to draw from. Musically, it's crazy because we love everything from, like I said earlier, Backstreet Boys all the way to Cradle of Filth, and somehow we're able to get away with having such influences musically. I don't know how, but it definitely
I think that is what sets us apart, though. I think that's what makes it unique, and not only is it audio based, and I'm sorry if my video is off. I think I might be frozen,
Oh,
um, but not only do we have the ability to set ourselves apart from an audio standpoint, but from a visual standpoint, we have the ability to just do something a little bit different without it necessarily affecting the image, the reputation, or the overall presentation of the band. We've done a bunch of different stuff visually, from like matching black and red like Victorian blazers to just general like, hey, we're gonna wear cutoffs and chains. We're gonna dress in like old metalcore garbs, whatever it might be. We've been able to successfully navigate all of that stuff pretty much at our leisure, which I think is maybe might be. I think of live music, like food, where you eat with your eyes first. So
yeah.
when you see a band like Haunter, you are going to see a band like Haunter. Like, not only will you hear us, but you will see a band like Haunter, and you're not going to forget that you saw these weird fucking guys that look the way they do. Um, and while you're there, you're going to be like, "Hey, that was a pretty tasty guitar solo." Like, so it kind of it is like a psychological memory trigger to get you to remember who Haunter is.
Yeah.
theatrical, very theatrical.
Awesome.
Theater.
But that's
Theater.
awesome. I love it. I love it. Very, very, very cool. So, okay, with the show coming, I'm just trying to figure out why you're stuck.
Yeah, me too.
I know.
I
I'm
tried
like,
turning my camera off.
good. Turn it off and turn it back on.
Yeah,
Not working.
no, just sitting there looking stoic as fuck.
We're all like, all right, this would be a great like screenshot for the episode. So,
And the best way to do it, when I was like itching my ass, I was itching my ass a second ago, and I was like,
Oh my god.
well, cool.
that's fun.
I don't have one of those, so I can't do
That's very
that.
funny.
Let me see if I can leave and rejoin quick. Is that
Okay.
possible during a recording session?
I don't know. We can find out.
Well, let's find out. out together.
I don't know. What
Never again.
if we lose all of your your audio?
Like from the recording? Good question.
Hold on. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna stop it. We're good. This is why I love pre-recorded stuff too. Why people are always like, "Don't you go live?" I'm like, "Fuck no! Are you insane?"
We don't even like
God,
playing live.
right?
Yeah,
Like,
we don't even like
no.
playing live.
Good God Almighty! Because my luck, all this shit would happen all at once, and I'd be like, I'm in IT, like I'm a software engineer. They'd be like, "Well, aren't you this?" Like, no, I'm not. And now I'm having a meltdown on top of everything. So, all right. So for each of you, going back, did you always want to be musicians? Like, did you grow up in musical households?
I wasn't exactly in a musical, like my parents did not play music or anything like that, but my mom showed me Bon Jovi when I was about 3 or 4, and I used to take lightsabers from Star Wars and stick it in the end of my bed, bend the top, and make it into like a microphone slash stand. And I saw the music video for "I'll Be There for You" on the New Jersey VHS tape from Bon Jovi, and yeah, I was
That's
like, I want to do
great.
this. And then I
Shout out
started
to Mom.
actively, yep, Mama Grimm. No, I started actively pursuing it then when I was like, yeah, I was about 13 then, and it's been a wild ride since.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think I kind of have a similar thing where I wouldn't say that my family is very like musically inclined, but they are very music centric. Like they
Oh
very
yeah.
much they love music. Like music has never been like an irrelevant part of my life or my childhood. But that doesn't mean that like my mom's never picked up a guitar before. So like one of my favorite stories that she has told me is the nursery that that I spent my infantile stages in. In like 1 week, she said it went from posters plastered around the room of New Kids on the Block, tore them all down, and then bam, it was all Guns N' Roses. So,
Amazing.
so those two things come together, and now we have
That's
fucking
great.
Haunter, the
Right?
boy band meets goth kids, and oh man, it's so ironic how that stuff happens. And so I've just always been surrounded by music. Like my mom always liked Motley Crue and everything, and we didn't have we weren't financially very well off growing up. We weren't like dead, but we just weren't like we didn't have a plethora of money. So I kind of all of my music, all of my movies and everything were always hand me downs. It was whether it came from my mom or my mom's friends or whatever it might be. So all of
Yeah.
my music that I grew up with is music that my mom grew up with, which would be 80s, 90s, and so that ended up being just what I ended up being comprised of. And when I was 12, me and a buddy decided, hey, you play drums, I play guitar. We'll see if we can do something. The answer was no, but now, but now I've spent a lot of money to make people think I know what I'm doing, and I think
Right.
that's the important part.
That's great. Oh
Dude,
my
my
God, that's
mom
so
always
funny.
says, my mom's always like, I miss the '80s, and I'm always like, me too. And I wasn't even born in the '80s.
Oh my
So
God, that's so funny. One of my first concerts, this is how much older I am than you guys. One of my first concerts was Bon Jovi on the New Jersey tour, and they Skid Row opened up for them, and my dad
Oh,
took me, and he was so offended because Sebastian Bach was like, "What do you," I don't know, he said something like, "What do you do when people really piss you off? You raise your middle fingers and you're like, 'Fuck you.'" And everybody's like, "Yeah, fuck you." And my dad's like, "What is going on here?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, wait till I take you to the Pantera concert, Dad."
Ooh. Wow, I can't believe you went
Oh my
to
goodness.
that tour. That's amazing.
I was oh my God, yeah. I was like, I don't know, 14 or 12 or something like that. Oh my God. They were such a big that's so funny that you guys even mentioned them. They were such a big influence on everybody, even
yeah.
to this day. Talk about longevity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of,
Oh
one of
yeah.
my one of my guitar tones that I use in Haunter is like directly modeled after one of the 12 strings that Bon Jovi uses in one of their big songs that I'm blanking on the name of, but
Right.
but yeah, it's modeled after a combination of that and a Motley Crue guitar tone from the Shout at the Devil record. And
That's
whenever I like dick
awesome.
around with it at practice, Tom just starts belting out Bon Jovi lyrics, and so it
That's
just
so
sounds like
great.
"Steel horse I ride."
Right?
Yes. And I'll forever do it.
That is fantastic. Oh my god, I'm dying.
You're my Richie Sambora.
Right? That's so cool. That's so funny. It's so funny how all of us, like, diehard metalheads, like, my mom was hiding my Morbid Angel CDs while I'm wearing my Poison t-shirt, you know, like like, it's so funny how all of our roots, I don't know, they always, like, somehow make their way back to cock rock in the '80s, I swear to
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
Absolutely.
I think if any of those bands that were born in the '80s were born at the same time we were, they'd be making the same music that we're making. I think.
Oh, for real.
I think these are guys that maybe didn't seek out like counterculture or anything like that, but they kind of had a mentality like we do, where my thought process when it comes to pretty much anything is let's look at what everybody's doing around us and then turn around and run the other direction. I don't
Yeah,
want to sound like anybody. I don't want to look like anybody. I don't want to accidentally copy somebody. And I think that's what a lot of the really big successful bands, and we're talking about the Motley Crues and the Kisses and the Guns N' Roses, and
yeah,
that's what all of these bands did to become very successful. They stuck in their own lane. They put blinders on. They didn't see, oh man, what is so and so doing? And so I think if you apply that to the modern context where everything has gotten so much heavier and technology has come such a certain way, I think Nikki Sixx would be making metalcore today. Like, and you like even Motley Crue music has gotten so much heavier.
yeah.
In like relatively speaking to like old Motley Crue music, it's gotten so much heavier that I think that we would see a lot of these guys creating some pretty heavy music.
Mm-hmm.
You're not wrong. Even some of these, like, lighter rock guys, I mean, okay, weirdly enough, and, always the running joke is, "Oh, are you listening to Nickelback?" Have
Oh,
you listened to the latest
dude,
Nickelback?
have
That
you listened
shit is
to any
re
Nickelback?
that
I've
shit
listened
is
I
to
don't.
really heavy.
I like Nickelback. I
I
don't.
love
Or
Nickelback.
Daughtry lately, and I'm like,
Oh my
Oh yeah.
god.
"What's
Oh yeah.
going on here?"
They know
Like,
how to make some choruses, yo.
seriously, and
I've
I
literally,
don't
I've this entire week as I've been driving to and from work, I've been listening to All the Right Reasons, the album by Nickelback, and just like that the opening
right?
song, "Follow You Home," starts with this just like super,
I know, like, they get
this super
no
cool drum
love.
track, and like the guitars are heavy, and I'm just like, holy fuck, this happened in 2002 or whatever. Like this is like
Right.
this band, and then
I
four
know.
tracks later we have Photograph. Like,
I
oh
know,
my
okay,
god,
right, and that's the
like.
one they went with?
Yeah.
Way to go, record
So,
executives.
dude,
I know,
I love those guys.
I know.
I will
It's
die on the
crazy.
hill with Nickelback being one of the greatest bands of all time, and Chad Kroeger being one of the top 5 best musical writers in the history of modern music.
That's so funny. We're gonna get the comments, we're gonna get lambasted. Oh
Yeah,
god.
yeah.
Well,
If you didn't hate Haunter before, let me tell you
okay,
something.
okay. Well, people that are gonna get mad at us. I'm listening to Behemoth in my car right now. So, are we okay now?
I know, right? I
We got
know.
our little metal check mark for the interview.
We just took my boyfriend so we just took my boyfriend's 13-year-old son to his first concert, and
Ooh,
we took him to see Falling in Reverse and Hollywood
Ah,
Undead, and
nice.
nice.
now he's singing all the bad word songs, which is
Yeah.
fine. It's fine, 'cause Hollywood Undead, like, back in the day was super inappropriate. They totally mellowed out 20 years later now that they're, like, all old like me,
Yeah.
like, but back in the day, and it's so funny, his mother's gonna hate me, I'm
I actually have said before that Falling in Reverse is an '80s band of today. So it kind of ties
for
in with what you were
real.
saying, yeah, before Anthony.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yep,
I'd say it's
I know,
the exact reverse. Totally agree.
I know,
Hmm.
and I was happy to see so many people, attending the concert and stuff, and I feel like the summer has been rough for Wisconsin as far as metal. I know we're totally getting off topic here, but as far as, like, metal
Oh no,
shows or
we're
just
good.
I know. Luckily, it's my show and I can do what the fuck I want, so everybody
Right?
up,
Woo!
right? Well, and I know, like, in the summer, most metal bands kinda take hiatus just because most of metal bands aren't festival bands, but,
Yep.
um, I am happy to see a lot of the chatter with some of the upcoming shows, like the one at DeBar. I mean, you guys
Mhm.
have a killer lineup, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna do everything I can to help promote this show because this is gonna be a great show," for one
It's
thing.
it's actually in our hometown. Anthony and I were born in West Dallas.
Right.
Were you
So,
really?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's super
awesome.
cool. Like I so funny story, and I intended to tell this a little bit later, but while we're on the
Okay,
subject,
yeah.
and like I said, I've been in Haunter for about a year and a half. When I first joined Haunter, I was kind of their like photo guy. I was slated to do like all their promo photos and kind of do all those things. And then as time went along, I was like, hey, but I also play guitar. I'm way better at that. And and they're like maybe so as time went on, I was like I was like inaugurated into the band, whatever,
Yeah,
and and then Haunter was playing a show at DeBar in West Dallas, and I knew about half the set. I felt confident in playing about half the set, and I was like, man, guys, I just don't think I can. I don't think I can do this one. I think we're gonna have to wait until July when I can make sure that I got like all my ducks in a row and everything. But I'll still photograph for the night. So I still took photos for the band that night. And I was like, damn, like this stage looks really cool. The sound is really cool. Everybody, like the energy was so tight. Quincy from Knifeback was there that night as well, so it was kind of like a
it's
cool.
great.
Like I got to meet a bunch of people from the scene for the first time. I was like,
He
damn,
bought
this is really
he
cool.
he
Yeah,
bought one of our shirts that night, and I don't know if he's taken it off since.
it's constant. And so I was like, damn, I literally, I called my girlfriend and I was like, man, I'm considering running back to Sonny's and grabbing my guitar and just playing the rest of the show with these guys. I'm feeling it. But I decided professionally it wasn't the right thing to do. Cause I was like, damn, in West Dallas, that'd be cool. I was born here. But now fast forward all this time later and here we are going into West Dallas. And now it's my first time playing at DeBar with Haunter a year and a half later. So it'll be
That's
fun
awesome.
to be in this city for the first time. We've played Milwaukee a bunch, but West Dallas, the suburbs specifically, this is a first for me.
That's
Mhm.
super cool. That is super cool. Well, let's talk okay, so we're jumping ahead. Like, I have, like, a whole list of questions I was gonna ask them, but that's just out the window now. So let's talk about DeBar. So it's Knife Back, Haunter, Aperture, Reckless Redemption, $10, 21 and over, Friday, October 10th, 2025, in case you're listening to this next year.
Yep.
Um, Literally, you guys have been doing a great job promoting it. Um,
Thank you.
what do you think why should people come to see you guys on October 10th? Other than the fact that I'm gonna
Well,
be there because it's my birthday weekend and that's what I wanna do, so people can come
heck
and
yeah.
drinks with
I
me.
think I think there's a
Well,
lot to see. I think
Yeah.
one cool part about this particular show is that Aperture and Reckless Redemption are two bands from Illinois, or they're from the Rockford, Illinois area. So
Okay.
we're actually hosting them, and that's why we kind of have a Milwaukee sandwich where it's us and the Knife Back at the end. The other two are guests that we're welcoming in. So I think you get an opportunity if you've seen Hunter before, great. This gives you an opportunity to see us again, but you're also in doing that being exposed to probably some new music and not
Sure.
just new music but like very good music. Like Aperture and Reckless Redemption are fantastic, and to cap it off with a band like Knifeback, who I've been wanting to play with since I joined Haunter, and now again finally getting that opportunity, um, it is a very cool, unique kind of multi-regional lineup, and I think you'll get some cool exposure to stuff that you wouldn't otherwise. On top of which, Haunter's been kind of doing some cool stuff live, and we're gonna keep doing cool stuff live. And I think you should probably come see that cool stuff yourself.
and we have a couple of guest features, so that'll be a nice surprise for everyone on
Yeah.
stage.
Alright.
Yeah, it's
Well,
cool. We've been doing with some of our longer sets. We've played. This summer was a busy summer for Haunter, and which we're very grateful for because, like you said, sometimes summer is where bands go into hiding. We didn't do that.
yeah.
We were front and center the entire summer. We tried to make sure that we were holding down the fort, and we had the opportunity to play a lot of shows, and a couple of them were headliner shows where it was an hour plus, and we had all this time to fill with music. And we have kind of found a rhythm with what we like to do for these longer sets. And so what we're going to be doing is not only are we going to be playing a couple of new songs, the two of which are unreleased completely, but we are going to be revamping an old song. We're going to be playing the songs that everybody obviously knows and is familiar with and likes to groove and dance along to. And we're also adding a guitar feature in the middle of the set that is exclusively from my solo music. That is a project called Diabolos, and we're kind of making a cool amalgamation of things to make this a really interesting 45 minutes that is not going to feel like you're just going to stand there and watch this band just like dick around for 45 minutes. You're going to see something really cool.
Oh
All
yeah,
right.
absolutely.
Well, that's cool. So talk to me about your EP. So it came out in February, right? I'm understanding that correctly, right?
Oh yeah, Valentine's
Okay.
Day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Tell
Oh
me
yeah.
about that.
Ooh, that was a fun one, honestly. Because one, it's called Sex in Hell,
Yeah, right.
which definitely grabs you right away. And I hope those people that don't care to read into the lyrical content right away got pissed off. But no, that was a fun one. Like, yeah, we went way deep into the black and red attires.
Yeah.
Released it on Valentine's Day.
I know, it's super
It was
fun.
so cool. The way that it
Yeah,
all lined up, we had recorded the first single for it July of 2024. And we had been sitting on that lead single, which is lascivious stimulation. And so we had been sitting on that, and we're like, well, we got to do a music video for this. We got to make sure we kind of have like a big like hurrah with this. So we self-produced a music video for that in September last year.
we
Um,
filmed it in West Dallas
Filmed in West Dallas, sure as shit.
That's great.
Um,
at Central High School.
Oh my god,
and so
that's awesome.
we took that and we decided that we're like we ended up recording the last two songs as well, and we put them all in our back pocket, and we're like, let's make this a 2025 thing. Let's push this all over there. And as time went on, I was looking at like potential release dates, going through the calendars, what day might work for us best. And I was like, I think it'd be cool to launch Lascivious, the first single, for New Year's. I think it'd be cool. So we did it the first Friday of the year, and I was like, well, we don't want too much time, maybe sometime in February. And I was like, holy shit, is Valentine's Day really on a Friday this year? That's unbelievable. So, and then I looked, I'm like, and the EP's called Sex and Hell. So, like, it's like this perfect combination of things where the name of the album conceptually lines up with a holiday that lines up from a timeline standpoint with the music that we're releasing. I'm like, we're putting this shit out on Valentine's Day. That's not even a question.
Great. That is fantastic. That is super cool. So then, okay, so what do we got coming down the pipe then? So, new album.
Maybe. So so what we've got for sure is we have a new single. The new
Okay.
single is completely recorded. It's ready to go. It's currently uploaded to all of our distribution centers, and it is awaiting release. And then we have a music video that we also filmed for it that we're waiting to get back on. We have new promo photos. We have new shows that are pending. Some of which are announced, some of which are not. So there's a lot going on. But musically speaking, there is a new song. We've been playing it all summer. So we've been kind of like testing two new songs out live throughout the summer, and one of them kind of edged up over the rest, and we're like, this is going to be the single. So that
Okay.
song is ready to go, and we are in the midst of putting the releases together for it right now. But that is the most immediate thing down the pipeline. But we are anticipating that 2026 is going to be a pretty explosive one for us, partly
Okay.
due to this single and partly due to the other stuff that we've got down the pipeline too.
Yeah, and with this new song, we've worked with a couple of people and we'll be working with another new person. And I wish we could drop some names, but it's gonna be some nice surprises
Yeah,
soon, very soon, and
yeah.
I can't wait. I literally cannot wait.
So all this tells me and everybody watching and listening is that you need to go like the Facebook page, the YouTube
Yeah.
channel, the Twitter, the Instagram, the TikTok, everywhere. It's because there's big shit coming down the pipe, man. And you guys sounds pretty exciting.
We're very
Oh, yeah.
excited.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot going on. It's been really hard. Where we love to we just love to conversate, and we love to like share good news with people and kind of relish in each other's mutual successes. And it's been really hard to like not do that,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and just like celebrate other people and be like, no, but we're fine. We're all right. Like we're
Yeah.
okay.
No, I think this is the most secretive we've
Right.
ever had to be in Haunter. We just have so much coming up from October through even 2026, and we can't say anything. And even when I've been posting on my socials lately, I've been looking at my wife and I'm like, I don't know what to post. I can't
Yeah.
post anything Haunter related at the moment
Oh
except
my
for
God.
the upcoming shows that have already been announced. And that's kind
Yeah.
of it right now.
Right. Hilarious.
We're
And
not too
then
far away from a lot of stuff though.
yeah,
That's
and then
awesome.
I'll be able to post this podcast. So thank you.
Yeah, hell
There you
yeah.
go. See? I'll give you a whole bunch of like little magic clips. You can just shoot them out. It'll be fun.
Yeah, hell
Oh,
yeah.
please do that for me. For the sake of all my socials, please. I will promote this so hard.
Oh my God. So funny. All right. Well, we basically, I mean, we like, I literally, you guys, for the listeners, I really do have a whole bunch of questions, but we covered a lot of this stuff just organically.
Yeah.
But let's talk about, because I do like some of these questions are questions I genuinely ask a lot of the bands just because I'm nosy. Do you guys
Okay.
have any pre-show rituals like before you go on? Do you guys have any?
Oh wow.
Some bands
Honestly,
do, some bands are like, no.
no, I wouldn't say that we like go out of our way to do anything intentional before shows. I think we're very business. We're very professional. We get into the venue as early as possible. We load in all of our stuff. We make sure that we are prepped as much as we can, and then we spend the rest of the time trying to see if the venue needs help with anything. Do the other bands need help with anything? Is there anything that we can help
That's
with
nice.
sound check or
Yeah.
stage setup? Like we'll go ask the other bands, what are you doing for your setup? Is there something that we can do that would help your set after ours or whatever it might be?
Aw.
Well, and then
How
there's
many
like
will
the
start
norm.
then?
I mean, we do like, I mean, I do my warm ups and stuff. You do your warm ups.
Yep.
I mean, I do. Okay, I actually, when I'm doing my makeup and stuff, I actually try my best to try to listen to every single like Haunter demo that we have over and over, just to
Okay.
kind of like burn it in my mind. So I guess that, but no crazy rituals, honestly.
Yeah,
Okay.
nothing really nothing that is like, hey, we go on at 7. It's 6:54, and we haven't done the thing yet. Like everybody,
Right.
put your
Yeah.
phones out. Like we're
Which
like
some
it's
bands
nothing like
really
that.
do have
Right.
traditions or
And that's
superstitions.
totally fair, and I totally understand why.
Yeah.
I think with us in our scene and kind of the level that we're at, sometimes I feel like it's too chaotic for us to necessarily coordinate stuff like that. Because I do feel like it's maybe show starts at 7. It's 5:30 right now, and then I close my eyes and I open them, and now it's 6:59, and it's just and it just flies. And we're trying to talk to the venue, and we're trying to talk to fans that are coming in. We're trying to talk to the other bands, and we kind of get caught up in stuff. I think we just get caught up in just having a good time and being a part of the community. And I think for that reason, that's kind of our pre-show ritual is just, hey, let's go bump elbows with everybody. We're not too
Right.
big. We're not going to hang out behind the merch booth and just kind of sit there stoically and be like, we're the band. No,
Yeah.
we're going to go out there. We're going to hang out with you guys. We're going to talk about video games and bullshit for an hour and a half. And then we're going to go yell for 30 minutes. And then we're going to come out and finish the conversation about Resident Evil. So
Oh,
and I would say the only thing that the only thing that I think we do consistently is actually after the sets when we are packing all of our gear up. Once everything's packed up, we all make a point to just kind of like sit down with each other outside of the venue and just talk about immediately, like, what are your immediate thoughts on how that show went?
Really.
What things did you see that could have gone better? What's kind of your compliment sandwich for the band for the night? And I think we all come in with things that we know we could have done better. We all come in with things that we're super proud that we did. And I think it's just a really good, it's kind of like sports when it comes to like reviewing tape from, like your football game the previous week. It's like, oh yeah, I missed that catch. Well, you see what it was is you were stepping with your right foot. If you step with this one and okay, so I know to correct that. Same concept. where we can go, okay, I think next time instead of doing this, I'm going to conserve this so I can perform this note better, so I can make sure I have enough breath for this part coming up next. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's about learning and making sure that we are critiquing ourselves and being harder on ourselves than anybody else could ever be.
You know, Anthony, maybe we should start a pre or post show ritual. You know, maybe a nice bubble bath to
A bubble
really
bath.
loosen the muscles.
Oh, we lost him in
A
mid bubble
bubble
bath.
bath.
There
A
he is. Oh,
bubble
he's
bath.
back.
We're gonna have a no. Our tour bus
Oh
is
my
gonna we're
god.
gonna make sure it has a bubble bath in it
We got
for
it.
all
Holy
of us.
cow.
Yeah, yeah.
Guys.
Bubble bath for four for sure.
With
Oh, with bath bombs, with bath bombs. Yo,
bath
Yeah.
bombs. Oh my
And we could have
god.
dividers so we could each have our own different colored bath bombs so they don't all like mix together and get shitty.
Oh, that's funny.
Lush is gonna sponsor us. So
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Oh
And then we
god,
can
that's
sponsor any other
funny.
band just Hunter.
Oh my god, dude.
And
That's
that
one I
but
have
that's
not
the
heard
Monster
yet, and I've
Music.
heard some really weird ones. Oh god.
You think
That's
I'm joking?
that's super funny.
I'm not.
What do you guys think has been your biggest challenge with the band since you guys started or have come together? Or even with this new lineup?
Oh,
What do you think has been your
um,
biggest
I think
challenge?
definitely the biggest challenge that comes to mind. Um, Lineup wise, I'd say it's always the same thing of always, you always want to find people that are going to be on the same page that also like kind of this darker content and theatrics that we do. But I would
Yeah.
say one of the biggest challenges is, and we don't, like I said, we don't really do this on purpose, but we've always kind of gone against the grain just naturally. So while certain genres are big, sure, we might incorporate that a little bit into our sound, but we've always kind of stood apart from that stuff. So like it's been hard to find our groove in the scene towards the beginning of the band, honestly,
Yep.
because we weren't a hardcore band, but we weren't a pop punk band, but we weren't a straight black metal band or anything like that. It was a weird hodgepodge. So that was definitely the biggest challenge because it honestly at like that first year or two, it was hard to get on shows, honestly, because I don't think people knew what to make of us. So
Right.
I would say that was the biggest challenge, but as time has gone on, especially in this last year, people have really started to catch on, and like our shows just keep filling with people now, and the scene is welcoming us, and it's like it's nice now. So, but that was a challenge for sure.
That's
I
awesome.
think I think I would echo that statement. I think I think we struggled then especially to kind of find some version of acceptance, and not necessarily in like a we don't like you can't sit here, like nothing like that, but like again, people I think were confused. I think they're like, is this a band that would even make sense to put on here? Would these, because everything's about drawing power, everybody wants to make money, everybody wants to make sure that they have a good turnout, everybody wants to make sure that what they do that night is successful, and they have to calculate, is Haunter part of a successful formula? And I think for a long time people didn't know, and they did know about this other band that was going to add to their formula successfully. So I think for a long time, it took a while for, I
Yeah.
think, Haunter to really prove ourselves. And I think the last year, especially because we've gone so far out of our box to play shows that I think other bands either wouldn't consider or weren't considered for again, maybe it's family event related reasons or whatever it might be, because we kind of have that Venn diagram with every area. We can kind of fit into these shows that some bands can't, and because we have those opportunities, we get the opportunity to show ourselves and be like, this is what we can provide for you. This is tangible proof that we can be a success with you,
Oh
and
yeah,
we have to work together.
we literally just played back to back. We played like a more metalcore show, and then the next week we played with a pop punk show. Like
Yep.
it was mostly pop punk, yeah. But I like that we're able to get away with that because we started as a dark pop project. It was a solo project, and
Huh.
I like that since we started that way, and then we've added the metal over time. It's almost like we're able to get
Yeah.
away with it,
Right.
and no one bats an eye.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So now we're able to play with like we played with Lilac and Lotus, which is more on the pop punk like side of music, and then we played with Illusion of Fate, which is black metal
I
as
love them.
hell.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love
right.
them. They're the nicest.
Yeah,
They have been supporters of us since day one. Great human
awesome.
beings. Love them.
That's super
Yeah,
right?
I
That's
think it's
super
cool
cool.
because I think we've always felt like we've had a place amongst these bands and amongst like whenever like a show pops up and we're like, damn, you know what, I think we should be on this bill. And not everybody believes that, and that's okay, because not every band can be on every show, but B, not everybody understands what Haunter is yet, and that's okay. But that's on us to prove ourselves. It's not on anybody but us. If we think we
Right.
belong somewhere, it's on us to put ourselves there. So we've been putting ourselves out there, and we've been taking weird show offers that turn out to be the coolest things we've ever done.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's
like
awesome.
like we like we
That's
we took
super
a
cool.
chance on a wrestling festival last summer, which was my first show with the band. It's in Sheboygan every year. It's called Rock and Wrestling. It's hosted by a collectible store that Thomas and I go to called Freak
Okay.
Toys, and I've known the owners for like 10 years. They're fantastic people, and they didn't even know that I was in Haunter when they asked Haunter to play last year. So there's no like nepotism or anything, but
Right.
they asked Haunter
Even
to
if there
play,
was,
and we're
that's okay.
like, and we're like, sure, we'll come play this thing. There's going to be a wrestling ring in the middle of the street, and there's going to be bands next to it. We'll give it a shot. And it
Hell
was a
yeah.
big success. And because it was a big success, when they did it again this past summer, they invited us back, and that thing quadrupled in size. And because we were there from the beginning, and we were this weird band that happened to fit this kind of niche festival,
Yeah.
we spent this whole summer, people were messaging me the entire summer saying, hey, how do we get on the show with you guys next year? How do we get on the
Oh
show?
yeah.
And
Kept getting that. Same here. I kept getting those
Really?
messages too.
so it's really cool to get that in return, because now I feel like we have the opportunity to finally like shake hands with the rest of the community and be like, hey,
Yeah.
so we asked you these same questions, and so now I think we have an understanding of like we belong with you and you belong with us. Let's make
Right.
something beautiful together. And again, Haunter can't be on every bill. We understand that, but I think the music scene has come around to seeing what we are, and I think the venues and the bookers have come around to seeing what we are. And I think it just allows us a unique opportunity to play again with a metalcore band from Australia, or play under a tent in Kakana for some reason. Like
Right.
we can do those things 8 days apart from each other without batting an eye, and both of them are going to be sellout shows.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome. All right. Well, let's give them the rundown of where they can find you guys on all the socials. And again, I don't think there's a ticket link for the show, is there? I think it's just $10 at the door.
I would say I think it's in person. I don't
Yeah.
think I didn't think there was a link. I was thinking, yeah, it's
Yeah.
just come
Usually
there.
Marcus doesn't do. Yeah, Marcus usually doesn't do. It's usually
Yeah,
just like $10 at the door. Cash,
yeah,
probably. But
probably, yeah.
so but
Or a
you can
bath
find the
bomb.
event information online. So if people really wanna, you know.
Yeah. The alternative, if you bring a bath bomb, you'll get it on our guest list.
Especially if it's from Lush at Mayfair Mall.
Oh my god. I will die if somebody shows up with one. I will absolutely die. I will. I don't even know. So
so
funny.
so so we are Haunter, and you can find us across the entire digital universe at Haunter Cult, because we are Thomas.
A cult above the rest.
Oh,
So
oh,
fancy.
oh!
Well,
Ain't it a gimmick?
amazing. That was great. Perfect. I will, of course, link to all your socials in the show notes for this episode, which will be available whenever I publish this tomorrow. I probably on my
Yeah.
Fubard website, but I'm gonna edit that out, but because I blew it up and now I'm redoing it. I did. I did. Oh my god, I did. I'm such a fucking idiot sometimes. I downloaded some plugin and wasn't paying attention, and I downloaded it to, like, all 11 of my websites, and then I logged in one day and I'm like, "What do you mean I have 8,200 posts?"
Yup.
I know that I've only created, like, 112. So what the fuck? And it was all these like casino sites. And I'm like, oh my God. And they're on every single one of my websites. And I'm like, I'm deleting everything except for my main one that's starting over instead of going through and deleting all this crap. But
that's
so
literally what happened with Haunter, because I created the Haunter website, which is hauntercult.com. And so I created the website for us. And like I said, I also do photography outside of this. So I had my photography website where like my gallery and all my stuff is. And
Oh yeah, and
and
it
then
showed all the masks.
yeah, and for some reason, the domain host that I was using, whenever I would upload a picture onto one website, it would randomly overwrite a picture on the other website without like telling me.
oh my God.
So like,
Oh
so
my
I worked
God.
this festival in so I worked this festival in Ohio called Carefest, and it's this like special effects convention. It's awesome, and I take photos of people. I have a big like photo booth, and I take like horror like photos. Like I have like a whole stage set up and everything. It's a super cool thing, and
That's awesome.
and I put those photos on my photography website, and then I would go to the Haunter website, and the photos from that festival are now on the Haunter website saying, "Hey, our new EP," and it would be like a picture of like a guy in like a mummy costume,
Oh my God.
or like it would be like, or it would be like, "Oh, come to our new show," and it's a picture of like somebody's kid holding a prop axe, and it's like, but
Right.
this
Oh
isn't
my God.
accurate though. So yeah,
And then you're like,
I didn't
okay,
do
what did I, what
my
happened?
whole.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah,
God. That's
and
horrifying.
it took me weeks to figure out what was going on. So I had to axe my whole photography website. I'm like, I'm
Yep.
just going to focus on the Haunter one. I'll figure out the photography. I have Instagram. People know where I am.
Literally. I know. Today I was like, I suppose if I'm going to do this interview, I should probably restart my website so I can put the posts on there. But it's fine. Whatever. Love technology. Love technology. If it didn't pay the bills, I would probably live in a cabin somewhere on a mountain. So, but anyway, I
Same.
will post all this in the show notes at metalchickshow.com and I will link to the Facebook event so that if you're interested, you can go. Make sure you mark going and share the event to all your metalhead friends because it's going to be a hell of a good time. So you guys, I appreciate you coming on the show. Like I said last minute, I appreciate you accommodating. And this has been a really fun interview. So I'm looking forward to
Oh
Friday.
yeah, I could have done this all night. Well,
I know, right? You guys are a hoot.
you're gonna have to bring us back. There's just too much to talk about. We'll interview
I
you
agree.
next.
Oh my God, right? We'll do
Can we
like a
interview the dogs
Haunter
next time?
takeover. Wouldn't that be funny? I've got my 2 cats. We'll just put them in like the animals in front of the cameras.
Yes.
Ooh, okay, now we're talking.
Yeah.
Yes, I can't wait for the sequel of this now. This is gonna be
Right?
amazing.
100%. 100%. We'll have to do a post-winter like follow-up to see how the show season went and see what all this like secret super spy stuff you guys got going on in the metal world here.
Yeah,
So,
for sure. We're very on board.
awesome.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm gonna hit stop, just hang out for a few minutes.